Don't want to look like a forgetful fool this Mother's Day? Stick around until the end of this video for a special deal on the Mother's Day gift of the year, Aura Frames. Maybe just a little word of caution going into what I'm going to talk about today. Look, I make a point to not drag politicians, even the worst of the worst politicians, and their children into the mix. Kids didn't ask to be born into families they're born into. They didn't ask for their parents. They don't have any control over the nature with which their parents act, and radical that it may be. Even the worst is Trump's. Barron Trump right now. This headline from Politico, I'm going to read the article, but I'm going to preface it by saying the things I'm going to get ready to say. Barron Trump to enter political arena as Florida delegate at GOP convention. The state party also selected other Trump children as delegates. And I've seen a lot of dialogue online about how he's fair game now. And, you know, he's an adult. He's a man now. He's 18. Yeah, he is. But listen, we don't even... Maybe you know, I don't even know what his voice sounds like. We don't know what his positions are. We don't know if he's going to be as bad as his father or his brothers or his sisters. We don't know. We don't know. So I would say reserve judgment until we do know. It's bad enough that he's wrapped up in this Republican Party, and he's going to be a delegate forwarding terrible democracy-ending policies. That's bad. But this could be family pressure. Look, I want to be as fair and charitable as I can, and I would say hold off on the invectives until he gives us something to sound off about. Here's the article, though, to give you some context. Barron Trump hasn't graduated high school yet, but he's already headed into political big leagues. The Republican Party of Florida on Wednesday night picked the 18-year-old youngest son of former President Donald Trump as one of the state's at-large delegates to the Republican National Convention, per a copy of the results viewed by Politico. The state party also selected other Trump children as delegates, including Eric Trump as its delegation chair, meaning he'll place his father's name in for the nomination, and Donald Trump Jr. and Tiffany Bolos, I don't know how to say her name, formerly Trump, and her husband Michael Bolos, as other at-large delegates. You see, the Republican Party is full on now just the party of nepotism. These people had no role in politics, no interest in politics before, but it advances their economic well-being to be involved. It keeps their name in the headlines so they can do their dopey little web shows and their podcasts. And this is coming from someone who does a dopey little podcast and web show. But it's lucrative for the right wing to be in these spaces, so they're there for it. But I don't know about Barron Trump. A Trump campaign official said Barron, quote, is very interested in our nation's political process. Notice, though, that there is no quote from Barron himself. Telling, I don't know. Again, I'm not defending him. We don't know yet. I'm reserving judgment until we know. Donald Trump recently lamented that he wouldn't be able to see Barron Trump graduate high school given his trial in Manhattan involving hush money payments to an adult film actress, but the judge relented to allow him to attend next week's ceremony at Oxbridge Academy in suburban West Palm Beach. Barron Trump hasn't announced what his plans are for after graduation. It is curious that Donald Trump was allowed to go, threw a giant fit about the graduation, even though he's never attended any of his other kids' graduations. And some fundraiser is happening the same day, and they have Donald Trump listed as an attendee. So I don't know. There's a little weird conflict there. I guess we'll have to follow this and find out. The delegates will appear at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee in July. Ivanka Trump is the only one of Donald Trump's 5 children who is staying out of the politics after being a senior advisor in the Trump administration. Like several other family members of the family, she now calls Florida home, which is also just kind of bleeds into the nepotism narrative that Donald Trump leaves Florida and all the kids follow him. It's kind of contrary to the natural thing that you hear families happening all the time where Kids move out of the house, they go and get careers and jobs, and then when the parents retire, they move closer to the kids to be closer to the grandkids. It's a topsy-turvy world in the Trump family, apparently. Republican Party of Florida Chairman Evan Power held a phone call on Wednesday night with delegation leaders, including, continuing the theme here, Kimberly Guilfoyle, who's engaged to Donald Trump Jr. and is on the platform committee for the Republican National Convention. Quote, "We are fortunate to have a great group of grassroots leaders, elected officials, and members of the Trump family working together as part of the Florida delegation to the 2024 Republican National Convention," Power said in a statement. So again, I know I will get criticism as I welcome it. I'm fine with that. I'll get criticism for not laying right in thick as thieves onto Barron Trump. But I offer the same fairness and charity to Lauren Boebert's kids, to other politicians who pose with their children with guns in front of Christmas trees. Those kids didn't ask for it. And I think we are decent enough to offer them the fairness and charity, the benefit of the doubt, to give them a moment to figure their shit out. I think we owe them that. I think, again, we are decent enough. We should be the more decent group of individuals in America and give children, he may be 18, but come on, he's a kid. We'll see. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think. If you disagree, let me know. We can talk about it in the comments. You can also call and leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me as always, daily@dollemore.com. I welcome those. And if you want to help me make these videos, take part in producing this content and reaching the people that I reach, you can click the join button below. Agree or disagree, you can support. Click the join button below for $2 a month. You can help me do what I do here. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. It's a great way to help support the work. Follow me on the social media. Another way to support is to stick around and check out this offer from Aura Frames, the sponsor of today's video. While there are several important considerations as we move into spring, when to get the grill and the patio furniture back out and into warm weather order, what's the best tonic to pair with this fancy new gin that you found, the top concern of the list should be the mothers in your life. That's right, you don't want to look like an inconsiderate oaf on Mother's Day when you fail to grab even a handful of grocery store roses for mom or your wife, your aunt, etc. And didn't you do those floppy flowers last year anyway? She doesn't want that. What's a thoughtful and easy gift for mothers in your life this Mother's Day? An Aura frame. Aura frames are beautiful, Wi-Fi connected digital picture frames that allow you to share and display unlimited photos. The frames just take a couple of minutes to set up via the Aura app, and the displays are meticulously high resolution, so you'd never know you're looking at a screen unless you really get in close. Right now, Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. Listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off, plus free shipping on their best-selling frame. That's auraframes.com. Use code Dollemore at checkout to save. Aura frames display in true color and automatically adjust to light levels in the room, so they'll turn off when you turn out the lights to save energy. And they have been featured in more than 130 gift guides, as well as named the #1 digital picture frame by the New York Times' Wirecutter, which I very much trust, The Strategist, and Wired Magazine. Oh, and the best part, each Aura frame comes pre-packaged in a premium gift box, so they're already wrapped. Go in for the win this Mother's Day. Head to auraframes.com now to get $35 off their best-selling Carver matte frame, plus free shipping. That's auraframes.com and use code Dollemore at checkout. Give yourself the aura of son or husband of the year with Aura Frames. Terms and conditions apply.